The most glad part here is we have quite a dignitaries with us. We have Dr. Bala Murugan with us, who is the CEO of Saarc Masts Tech. Hi, Bala. Good morning. We have.
Good morning, Ashish.
Good morning. Good morning. We have Dr. Prashant R Nair from Amrita Institute of Technology, who's been an advisor to us, who's been helping us in creating this application out there. So welcome, Dr. Prashant.
Yeah. Hi. Thank you, Ashish. Good morning.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And we have Mr. Jashank Babu, the CEO of the Saarc Masts Tech.
Hi, everyone. It's me here.
Okay, good. Good, guys. Good. And we have Dr. Pradosh, who's been our Director of Business, Saarc Masts Tech. Dr. Pradosh?
Yeah, hi. Good morning.
Very good morning. Very good morning.
Hi, good morning all. Very good morning.
Yeah. And let me introduce myself. I'm Ashish Sharma. I'm a CTO of Saarc Masts Tech. So I'll be taking this webinar forward. Okay. So let me start sharing my screen and then we can look at it. So ideally, this presentation would take almost around 45 minutes, followed by a question and answer session. So that depends on how the number of queries coming in across it and how we are able to solve it across it. Let's get started, guys. So once again, good morning, everyone. We get started. So here we introduce you a product called NAAC1. It's all about NAAC, right? So let's look at it, what we have. But before we start onto it, let me introduce our company. We are a company which is based in Bangalore, and we are doing a lot of research and development and innovation-based things related to an educational industry. So we are developing applications which are school-oriented, college-oriented, universities-oriented. And it has been backed by a company called Saarc Masts, which is into military-grade containers for bombs. So they're into manufacturing unit and creating military-grade containers for bombs, missiles, and guns. And we are serving Indian Army, Indian Air Force, and Indian Navy, and we are proud to be that. Currently, at this point of time, we have 3 products as our product line. One of them is NAAC1, which we're going to be introducing you today. Prior to which we have an ERP, which is a college and a university ERP. We call it as Net Campus, which manages your routine, regular day-to-day operations on the Net Campus part of it. And there's a future tech and innovative solution, which is in process to be released. It is called Smart 20 Plus, which will help students to have a customized teaching solutions to them. It is built on a future tech technology. So you can expect AI, ML, neural links, and deep learning. So these are the kind of things which we are working on. Before we start with NAAC1, let's understand what is NAAC. Okay. So NAAC is basically a National Assessment and Accreditation Council, which assesses your higher education institute, such as universities and colleges, and other recognized institutes in order to determine the quality status. Please remember the quality status is very, very important part of it. When the kids goes into these universities and education, they're looking out for the quality education, and these are the benchmarks which are being set across it. So NAAC, as a regulatory body, assesses institutional based on the adherence of quality criteria, with terms of educational processes, outcomes, curriculum coverage, teacher learning processes. So there are 7 criteria, and these are the list of the 7 criteria. Going forward, learning resources, organizational governance, financial, well-being, and student service. NAAC is such an accreditation for higher education institute, which gives them a quality stature. So it's very important, and it's been made mandatory by 2022. You need to have a NAAC accreditation as in a part of the place. It is a symbol of excellence, and it is a pretty tedious work because it involves a lot of documentation under those 7 criteria. So this thing is the challenge. The challenge which we come across here is basically the documents which are getting arranged over a period of time becomes really, really critical because they are very wide and different in nature. So you may have different role-playing people who must be entering those information out there, and to assimilate it, to reorganize it, to populate a single point of it as a repository is always a time challenging. Few of you, I'm pretty sure, are already been facing that challenge out there. So these are the 7 criteria on your left-hand side, which we talk about curricular aspects. teacher learning and evaluation, research consultancy and extensions, infrastructure and learning resources, student support and progression, governance, leadership and management, and innovation and best practices. Now, these all 7 criteria are subdivided into small subcategories, and they further divided into subcategories. Now, with these kind of subcategorizations happening across it, you need to be very well organized and very well presented to the board, to the NAAC, in terms of getting an accreditation, which in fact creates a couple of challenges for us. First, because of the magnitude it has, it becomes really, really challenging in terms of the kind of a work it involves. Second, since the work is more and it needs a lot of coordination and co-relationship, collaborations, it becomes extremely time consuming. It's a very tedious process. And I hope a couple of you guys must have already seen that. You have a probability where you can miss out the data. It involves a lot of manpower. There are mistakes which are done and then rectified over a period of time. So that need to be tracked, that need to be audited. Okay. There are chances where you miss out a particular thing and at the very last moment you realize it, and it's a lot of rush things for you. So what organizing that? A lot of productive time gets wasted across it because sometimes the clarity is not there. Sometimes you assume certain things and move forward on it and then realize it. And then, of course, and the most important part is that involves a lot of documentation. So it's not just about collection of the files. After the file gets collected, after the files get arranged, after the files get being presented into a PDF format or other structures to it, it also needs to be published on your website. So this involves a lot of documentation. And wouldn't it be great? Wouldn't it be great that you have something like NAAC1? So what does exactly NAAC1 do? So NAAC1 is a unique documentation software that compiles and consolidates and also collaborates all your essential document exactly under those 7 criteria, exactly under those 7 criteria and sub-criteria and sub-criteria, so that you don't miss out anything. NAAC has its own assessment marking system. Our application also follows the same marking system. So as you progress in this application, it tells you that what is the level have you reached out there. Now, to get this kind of a thing, because it's a compliance-based thing, we had a lot of NAAC consultants who have helped us in creating the structure. Okay, they help you across in terms of organizing a document, defining the right weightage, right assessment, and what is required by the NAAC team is already being put it into place. So you could be rest assured that whatever the data you are doing it across it is coming through a well-informed structure, well-uniformed methodology, and everything which is coming across it is organized and arranged in such a manner where you do the work only once. And how do we do that? We have support system accordingly. So we actually have a mechanism where against every sub point, we are giving you a detailing to it so that you know what it means with the support of the new communication, that is your videos and audios, and of course the textual part of it so that you are aware of it. Now NAAC1 is a precursor. So we say that before you go for a NAAC, go for a NAAC1, and that would make the whole difference because you really know you can actually crack the NAAC, right? So that's what it is about it. You'll be able to understand this, and it's very simplified because we understood this, that usually a simplification is the key to go forward. So we have tried our best of going and defining it as easy and as simplified as we can. And as you could believe, there is a technology, what we call it as what you see is what you get. We have exactly followed the same thing. What you see in the NAAC guidelines, exactly on the same lines, we put it across it with a lot of help and a lot of support. The NAAC usually require a lot of people-dependent functions. Yeah. Can we mute everyone, please?
Yeah, Ashish, can you just speak a bit loudly because there is some people telling that the voice is not clear. I don't know. Sure. I am audible. You're audible here on my side. Maybe others, you can please check your microphone and your speakers. Others.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Ashish, you can unmute and speak, please.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jashank. So I'll try to be a bit louder now. I hope I'm more audible to everyone now. So we were talking about it that usually the NAAC is very people-dependent function. But what we have tried doing it here is this, that we have divided this entire process into small processes out there, so that other than being people dependent, you become process dependent. So anybody who just peeps into it, who just looks into the software, would exactly know where they stand, where they are, what exactly is happening, and what is missing and what is not missing. Now, this gives you a lot of, it will empower you to understand how this thing works. Also to understand, you track the progress and monitor the progress. And also it's a 360-degree approach, which we are trying to do it. Now, there are a few key indicators which are designated by the government, which further break down this matrix, which means that for everything what you do here in the NAAC, which is between criteria 1 to criteria 7, there are certain point systems which are there across it. So our application understand that weightage, that understand that point system. And as you start finishing things by things, one by one sub-criteria, it will keep telling you where your progress is. And that analytical angle is a very crucial angle out there, because not just the documentation part of it, not just publishing on the web, not just publishing the PDF, not just publishing the reports which you're looking at it, but it is also able to give you your current standing, your current evaluation, your current, how are you going forward onto it, and you can actually plan a proper structure to it. Now, when we talk of this thing, what it is doing here for you is, it's able to save your documents in categories. So you, as we discussed across it, criteria and the categories, so it allows you to save the document then and there itself. So you don't have to go and create a folder on your machine, label them differently. No, days have gone. We are completely getting digital. India is getting digital. So you get that advantage. You go and upload a document, what is needed at the place where it is needed. Okay. Reports like AQAR, SSR are all getting generated out of the system. So you get automated documentation, automated reports year after year. And this entire process, is not really so difficult out here, because once you click on a button, it actually goes and publish an SSR. You go and make minor changes, enhancement at some places, and it again just go and gives you the entire SSR back again. So this multiple revisions, which you get very tired about it, you have to re-go it, reformat it, rearrange it, restructure it. Days have gone, just a click away, just one click, and you get it what you want. Okay. Along with this, we provide you consultation. So consultation is also a part of it, where we guide you across it to every support system out there. Every sub-criteria is being highlighted with a button which says help. And when you go to that help, it tells you what NAAC wants. Then the same structure is being explained to you, and following which it tells you how the same thing can be accomplished using a software. So again, it's a very important point, and that's going to be the very thing which will really help you. I again repeat this. Against every sub-criteria, you get basically, when you click on a button, it just tells you what the NAAC expects out of you. Then there is a video explanation which is going across it, and then it goes across it that how you can use the video to get the things out of it. So that's what it is. Consultation is covered out there. We give you a hand, literally a hand holding. We do a complete walkthrough through this so that you are available across it. And then, of course, you can have multiple consultations, and consultants are available with us, so that can help you across it. From the repository standpoint, you are able to collate the documents and meet all the key indicators. Very important point. You exactly know where you are standing, as I mentioned you earlier. So you go across it, you can evaluate it, you can track it, and anything which is, can you please mute Jashank? I think there's a background noise. Okay, cool. I'll move forward on this. And at any given point of time, if you think that you need to rectify the wrongly arranged information, it's just a bit of a clicks away. You just make the necessary changes. And once you make a change at one place, automatically all other places, it automatically reflects and make the necessary changes. We go forward. So why do we go with the NAAC1? We go with the NAAC1 because there are other areas also which are of a very prime importance. Like for an example, if I have a student council or a student group to whom I want to give certain activities to do it, they themselves can execute it, and the system can only give access to a smallest portion of the NAAC which it needs to do. So you get a complete control on the data which you have. You can define which user can access which section of the sub-criteria. You can define what role can he play. Can he upload a document? He cannot upload a document. Can he provide a link? He cannot provide a link. Will that particular criteria will be published or will not be published, right? You have a maker and checker kind of a scenario, so that also helps it. So you can define your roles based on things, and there is no limitation like you can only have one role. You can create as many roles as you want. You can define different criteria to different set of people within your organization, and they are responsible for only that one particular thing. But as an overall management or from the head of the team, you can see the entire activities happening out there. Of course, we are very much active about it, and we covers all the 7 criteria of the NAAC manual. And as there are any changes happening across on the NAAC manual, we have consultants who closely look at it and able to make those changes then and there itself, which means you can completely rely and trust us. You don't have to go again and again to NAAC manual because that manual is available, that instructions are available, any changes happening is available, and that can help you. Let's go to the third point, which says that automated report and templates as prescribed by NAAC. So in case if there are any changes happening on the NAAC, we get to know about it. There is a team which is continuously working on it. They take the latest information available from the NAAC thing and get it implemented within that application within no time. So that will help you across it. Again, an important part. Once these entire repositories are being created, one of the biggest challenge you face here is to publish it on your website. So we have come out with a mechanism where all this data which is entered across it can be converted into a PDF too. At the same point of time, it can automatically get published on your website. So we provide you a subdomain. You can use that subdomain, and to your directly website, to your university or a college website, you can directly click on that part of it where entire documentation updated will be reflected with immediate online reflection, which means you make a necessary change here, you publish it, and it's immediately then and there itself is reflected out there. So no outdated information on your website too. What goes to NAAC goes to your website, goes to your PDF, goes and is visible to you in your software. So that is available out there. You need not to depend on people anymore. It's a system, and you can have a complete system-driven process out there. It's pretty easy and very much accessible to retrieve the data. Absolutely no cost of system maintenance and updating. That is something which will be our responsibility. We'll take care of it. So you don't have to worry about it. You just have to take care of the data at the right place and everything is done. It's very secure. We give you the best of security out there. You can rely on us in terms of the security, all the best standard, policies and standard structures of security are all in place. And then overall, because it is shifting from a manual process to a system-driven process, you do a lot of huge cost saving for your management and very organized and very structured scenarios. Going forward to it, what you get is streamlining of your processes, simple application and easy to use, access your data faster and better, consistent. It's very consistent. Uniformity everywhere is. Right from the document to the data entry part of it, to the whatever the data you're putting into it, to what is getting printed, to what is getting submitted, to what is getting published, everything is being consistent, including our consultation. So that is there across it. Absolutely an automation to this entire thing which we mentioned about to you. So you don't have to worry about it. And the beautiful part, you don't have to depend on a particular machine, a particular server. It's anytime, anywhere, and it's very, very, very user-friendly. So what we believe and what kind of an impact we believe that NAAC1 would be able to get you into your life would be is the collection of the documents which is there across it, organized documentation and the filing related to it. So all these 3 processes which you talk about, it is already done across it. You'll be able to acquire higher grades because now you exactly understand it, how it works, what it needs, and what needs to be done at your end and what can be automated. So this will give you and empower you to have a better metric requirements. Of course, a NAAC accreditation is something what we are aiming for so that you'll get it across it. At any given point of time, you'll be able to do your gap analysis. So that will also give you, power to know exactly what got missed, what got is better, where you can make things better. You want to review it, revise it. You need not to worry about it that, if I make change here, it has to reflect everywhere else. So that is being done. And of course, we believe that education is the one which makes a difference to the country. We would like to contribute to it. And of course, you are the key guys who are making the big difference out there. So of course, when you come up with new policies, new ideas, new directions to it, It is changing not just your institute, but our country too. So looking forward for it. So let me introduce you to Dr. Prashant R, Nair, who has been with us right from the day one. He's been assisting us. He's been consulting. He's been advising us on all the accreditations. And he's I'll introduce you to Dr. Prashant R, Nair, who is our advisor and accreditation and OB expert. And he has 20 years of teaching, research, mentoring, and training experiences out there. Multiple books being written out by him, almost around 6 books. He's been well-traveled guy, happened to be felicitated by Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi. And he is there to make a difference in everybody's life. So I would like to really welcome Dr. Prashant R, Nair. I would give the stage to him. Mr. Prashant R, Nair, please help us out.
Thank you, Ashish. Will you unshare your screen, please?
Sure, Doctor, sure.
Okay, you can put me on the spotlight, then I'll share my slides.
You can share your screen, Prashant.
Yeah, okay. Is my screen visible? Am I audible? Clearly audible?
Yes.
Audible and visible. Audible and visible.
Yeah. Very good morning to all of you. At the outset, I'm very happy to give this overview about the NAAC accreditation, rather the finer points of the NAAC accreditation process for this launch of NAAC1 software, which will do an end-to-end automation of the highly complex task of NAAC accreditation, which is needed. So I'm not going to talk about the 7 criteria which was mentioned. I'm sure all of you have gone through the manual, but I just wanted to highlight 2 major aspects based on my experience and my working with this system of NAAC for the last 14 years or so. So I have completed 3 cycles of NAAC accreditation for the Amrita Vishwavidyapeetham University. We are multi-campus university headquartered at Coimbatore with campuses in Kerala and Karnataka. And we have completed this NAAC process in every single time we've got the highest grade. This last week, our latest grade was declared A++ with a very high CGPA of 3.7. So the first 2 cycles of NAAC accreditation in 2009 and 2014, I coordinated at the university level. I was the vice chair of the IQAC, or the quality cell for all the campuses. In the 3rd cycle, my role was a little restricted because into the campus or the headquarters, I was coordinating the IQAC at the university headquarters campus in Coimbatore. What you see is a picture of that beautiful eco-friendly campus. So that's been my experience, and it's been a trial and error. It's been a heady, a very heady journey with a lot of ups and downs, a lot of trials and tribulations, a lot of learnings, and to be very honest, unlearnings also. Now, I want to kind of stress upon 2 major points. I'm just using this quote of then Honorable Education Minister when the national rankings of the Government of India, NIRF, were launched. In 2015 rather, the government released what is known as the National Institutional Ranking Framework, or NIRF ranking. The NIRF ranking was a game changer, because what happened is that overnight, several of these commercial magazine based rankings vanished from the face of the country. They had very less subscribers, even though today they continue, but it's more of a branding exercise. And at that point of time, the minister very stressed upon this fact that, ranking and accreditation both are needed. So as an institution, you want to move towards continuous improvement. And for the continuous improvement, you need both. Both ranking and accreditation are needed. So what I want to stress upon the fact is that you may like them, you may hate them. You may do well, you may not do well. But at the end of the day, you cannot ignore both ranking and accreditation. If you are running an institution, a college in India, a university in India, there is no way you can ignore any accreditation, whether it is a NAAC accreditation or an NBA accreditation, if you are an engineering college, whether it is an NIR national rankings, and so many other government or maybe international rankings are there. Because a lot of development, movement actually rests upon these rankings and accreditation. See, if you are a university, you want to add campuses. Without a NAAC accreditation, you do not get the autonomy needed to go for accreditation. For new campuses. I'm sorry. Suppose you are an affiliated college. You have been doing extremely well for the last 7 to 10 years. You want to move out of the affiliated university and become an autonomous institution. You need NAAC. You want to, if you are an engineering college, you want to start more programs. You need NBA accreditation. You want foreign collaboration. You want foreign students. You want foreign faculty. You want to have tie-ups. They look at your rankings internationally. I mean, I was working for a brief time in America. I know that all the universities, when they look for any collaboration, they look at your rank. And having said that, you may agree or disagree with the methodology. Let me be very honest with you. Right? But you cannot ignore them. So that's what I want to stress upon, the fact that NAAC and NBA accreditation, NIR rankings and so on are extremely important if you want to move ahead in this country. Now, we are hoping, we are now in the throngs of a national education policy. The NEP is talking of a lot of flexibility across the board, but that is yet to happen. It's a process, it will take happen. Today, every institution is grappled with statutory agencies, regulatory agencies, accreditation agencies, and affiliating bodies. And they are all different. They don't talk to each other. So you are grappled with all of these and you simply cannot ignore it. That is why I want to stress upon that, love it or hate it, accreditation is needed. Now, what are the benefits? See, there is no doubt both ranking and accreditation gives you a lot of advantages, lot of pluses, more pluses than minuses. When your rankings and accreditation improve, your reputation increases, your visibility increases, you are able to attract better students, better faculty, you are able to get better tie-ups, better relationships, collaborations, you are able to get more partners in terms of industry, and of course, most of the institutions, the magic mantra of placement also improves. Your placement improves. So the same with accreditation. And accreditation, as far as NAAC is concerned, it is a 360 degrees process. Every aspect of your institution is covered. Academics, administration, extension activities, student activities, the cleanliness of your toilets, every single thing, finance, administration, academics, research, innovation, pipeline for innovation. What are the best practices that you do? How are you, going towards a green and sustainable planet? So anything and everything, it is a 360 degrees feedback. You are able to look inwards. You are able to look towards the future. Look inwards and look towards the future. You are able to ascertain your strength, weaknesses, and opportunity. You are able to make course corrections, move forward, and take your institution, take your college, take your university to the next level. So there is absolutely no, doubt about the fact that this is a wonderful process that helps you to improve. And that is in that spirit that we have to take that. See, if we became complacent, today the university that I work is now an institution of eminence. It's been a very, it's not been an easy journey. It's been a tough journey. We had learnings at every juncture. We went through several accreditations, several rankings, and every single time we have been able to not only improve, but also look inwards. So the ranking and accreditation process allows you to look inward as well as look forward. Now, the second thing that I want to stress upon, probably that's what is answered by today's seminar on an automated software to completely automate your data and evidences. So I am just borrowing something that I heard from a statistician, which talks of in God we trust, but for everything else, we need data. This is a statistician's talk. I am adding my own spin to it. In God we trust, but for everything else we need data, and that data needs to have evidence. Anything and everything, you need to have evidence. You need to have proof. You need to have a culture of documentation. And let me be very honest about it. You may buy the best software, you may have the best faculty, you may have the best students, you may have the best departments, but if you do not document what you do, you are simply out of the game. Documentation is so important. I cannot stress upon it more and more. You need to have, if you are a college, you are a university, you need to have documents, records at the university level. If you have multiple campuses, you need to have documents at a campus level. You need to have at a college level. You need to have at a department level. Not over. Every single faculty has to maintain documents. Every support department, whether it is a physical education director, whether it is a cultural coordinator, whether it is an admission officer, whether it is a finance officer, every single department has to maintain documents. And these are mandated across the board. Without this, you cannot go through this process. The entire NAAC process has evolved over time into a totally evidence and data-driven process. Now, the first two cycles of NAAC accreditation, I'm talking till 2017 or so, you submit what is known as a self-study report, where you give all your data, whatever you have done in the last 5 years, your achievements, your activities, your pluses, your minuses, your strength, your weakness, your publications, and whatnot. And a peer review team comes to your college or to your university and verifies or validates what you have given in the self-study report or the SSR. Now, this validation happens through multiple ways. They look at documents, they look at evidences, the proof, the documents, they interact with the stakeholders, the principal, the HODs, the students, the faculty, the non-teaching people, and try to ascertain what you have claimed in the SSR is right or wrong. Now, obviously, this is a judgment process, a very subjective process that depends to a large extent on the judgment of that inspection team or that NAAC peer review team. Now, the tides have changed. From 2017, or rather late 2017 to 2018, the entire NAAC process has gone into totally data-driven and evidence-driven. They have divided the 1,000 marks of NAAC, 730 or so. It varies slightly between universities, colleges, and all. Affiliated colleges, the number is slightly different. Autonomous is slightly different. University is slightly different. Again, there will be differences for medical or engineering or an arts. But still, by and large, across the board, 75%-ish depends upon the data that you submit, as also what evidence you submit or you upload supporting this data. And that data goes to a third party. You do not know who it is. Even if you know, you are not allowed to contact that person. If you contact and try to influence, you will be blacklisted. So that process is a black box. Whatever data you give, the evidence you have to give, and based on the veracity and the effectiveness of that evidence, you get that 75% of the mark. Only the remaining 25% of the mark is based on that peer team visit or PTV, where the peer review team comes to your college or your university and tries to assess. And they are also obviously for these qualitative parameters, that is the 25%. The 75% is quantitative parameters. Qualitative parameters of 25%, even that relies on evidence. They look for evidences. Obviously, they do other things like talking to you and so on and so forth. So these two things I want to kind of stress upon the fact that, you know, I have, am I visible now?
Yes, Prashant.
Yeah. So
thank you so much.
What
Prashant.
I want to stress upon the fact that, you know, one, you cannot ignore this process. You need to do this process if you want to move ahead in this in today's situation, number one. Number two, you need to have a proper system to collect evidence, data and evidence, collate the data and evidence, curate this data and evidence, consolidate, as also submit. And a software solution will be very easy to go through, diverse departments, diverse offices, where you are able to definitely integrate, collaborate, and nail this NAAC process, so as to speak. So that's all from my side. I wish NAAC1 all the best for this thing. I've been helping more than 20 institutions as an external expert for NAAC and IQAC, and continuing in this journey. Let's hope that I'll be able to meet some of you and try to help you in this process. Thank you. Over to you, Ashish.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Prashant. Your inputs are really, really valuable to us. It really helped us through this entire way. So once again, really, really thanks from the bottom of our heart. So it's time now. It's time to do the showcase. It's time to perform. It's time to show something which is really, really awesome, which took months and months for us to develop it. But now, today is the day when it comes to the light. It becomes yours. And let's see the magic what we have. Okay, so let's go for it, guys. Let me share my screen. Presenting you a software which is NAAC1. Now, we're going to be talking about a lot of things about NAAC1, but if you guys are able to see my screen, you'll be able to see a screen where we are talking about a university profile. Application is... Can we please mute everyone? Thank you.
I'm doing an all mute, just unmute it.
Sure, sure.
1 second.
Yeah.
All of you, please, I request all of you to be on mute. I'm continuously doing an all mute, and someone is unmuting. After the session, we can have a question and answer session. Thank you so much. Ashish, I'm unmuting all.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Thank you so much, Jashan. So let's get started, guys. Important point here is when we are working with this application, a very interesting thing Dr. Prashant just mentioned across it, that university may have to go for multiple campus. Every campus would have its own beautiful story to just document out here. It would have its own structures to follow across it, own criteria to go about it. So what we have done here is this. We have divided this entire thing where you can have one university, but multiple campuses. And how does it going to look like is something like this, where you can have an entire university profile where you can enter the information about your thing. A basic information can be entered. It's a pretty simple software. If anybody of you have gone through the NAAC manual, you'll find that you have a university profile, you would have an executive summary and these criteria from 1 to 7. So they all are listed here. So you start with your university profile, you define certain parameters, and to make your life easier, it is a lot of places, it's just selections. You just have to click on the button, say add, you have to click on a button called add it. You have a drop downs, combos and everything else, which we're going to talk about it. So this is how it goes about it. You can define everything else, whatever you want to do it. You could just go and say add it, make the necessary changes. Whatever places we find that this particular thing should be a drop down, a value which can be changed across it, you could actually look at it. Going forward across it, you can add as many campuses as you want to add your campuses, so that it automatically goes and defines a segregated areas for all your campuses to go about it. So you can do that. When you go for an academic information, it basically deals into, so everyone, I'm not going to go into detailing of what NAAC criteria and NAAC criteria looks forward for it. What we're going to be going into more details about it is how this application is handling these criteria. As you could understand this, that this NAAC criteria are pretty, as we discussed across it, is pretty elaborated enough. So time doesn't permit us to go through everything, but what time permits us is to show you how it's going to look like. So all these features which you have been seeing it across it, which, you put it across it, you have an opportunity where you can go and you can put those numbers out there, just go mark certain things, add it, delete, and you can do it. So just to give you a reference of it, if you're defining between teaching and non-teaching staff, a situation like which are how many of them are sanctioned, recruited, yet to recruit or on contract, the differential between the gender part of it, which need to be done, you just do it. All the calculations, please note all the calculations, all the ratio analysis are all taken care by the software automatically of its own. So you don't have to go and identify your averages. You don't have to find your mean averages, anywhere other ratio analysis, ratio count, which is there across it, is all something which is coming by the software. So you could be rest assured that that is all being taken care out there. You make necessary changes wherever applicable and you do it. So here, if you could look at it, this is small screen is dividing everything into multiple sections, teaching faculty, dividing into professor, associated professor, assistant professor, between sanctioned, recruited, yet to recruit and on contract to the gender part of it that is being done. Similarly, for the non-teaching faculty, with different, highest qualification, we are looking at it. So we are looking out for MPhils, PGs, PhDs. So their professor, associate professors, again, their gender is all being done out there. And to support this evidence, you could have a document management system. You could have links, which I'm going to show you in a very short while. So you could have different factors available out there, how the chairs are getting instituted, that is being done across it. What is there in UG, PG, that is being done across it. How many of the students are what gender, whether they are from the same state, whether they are from a different state, whether they are an NRI student, whether they are a foreign student. You just have to give the numbers and supporting evidence. You're going to give you a place where you can put the supporting evidence. Again, as we discussed across it, everything is divided into multiple categories, which is there across it, which is a part of our profile, university profile. And you can go with an extended profile also, which is available out there, which is being mentioned out there. Going forward to it, you're looking out for executive summaries, which you need to submit it as a cover note while submitting across it. You yourself can go across it, and no more Microsoft Word, guys. No more Microsoft Word, no more Excel. You have it everything here. So you go, you want to make necessary changes here. You go, you make the necessary changes. You can type whatever you want to type. You can go and you can highlight certain things if you want to highlight it across it. You want to describe certain things. All these things are possible out here. It allows you to do almost anything and everything, and that automatically structures it. All the documents which you need to provide across here can be available here again. So you can see these documents, which is available out there. You could view them, see them, upload them. Any changes being maintained across it is all coming across it. So likewise, you can have all the executive summaries, which is there across it, is being divided into segregations, and you just have to go and fill the data like how you would do in Microsoft Word. Going back, something important, like if you look at criteria 1.1.1, you have a provision even to go and insert images. Now, these images can be something where you can insert your letterheads. You want to insert certain images at certain point of time. You want to communicate certain things out there. Whatever you put in here automatically gets reflected on your website, automatically gets reflected as a part of your PDF, and everything is there out there. So that is available out there. And if I go and create documents out there, I have again a feature out here where I can just go and I can download it. It just goes and downloads the file like this, how it's doing it across it. If I want to look at preview it right now, I want to view it something online, I can just click on this and it just goes and can give you an access to your Excel, Microsoft Word previews. In case if you have uploaded any additional files, it is allowing you to do that out there. So document management system is a very, very integral part of application at every stage. Please note at every stage, which means every sub-criteria you're working across it, you would find these links called document management system. The link, you can click on this link and you can go across it. And any changes being done across it also is basically keeping a track of it, that what changes have been happening out there. So you can be rest assured that if you have a permission to change, and if you have made change, those are also getting audited within the system. So you need not to worry about it, not to be worried about it, who has done it. If there are limitations, we are putting those limitations also out there across it. And you can, of course, make it bigger, smaller, make it as a full page structure. That is all kind of a feature we tried giving it across it. Remember, I mentioned you across it that we are doing a hand holding. So here you go. You have a button here. If you click on this button, what this button going to give you here is this, will give you the entire thing, what NAAC is looking at with you, what is the weightage it has, and of course, a video which talks about it, that, okay, how to understand this NAAC 1.1.1. It talks about it that it is qualitative in measure. And then we talk about it, how do you can use this entire interface to do the data entry into our application. So as you could see, everywhere you have the explanation also, which is there across it. It also talks about it that the entire criteria 1 is 150. And if you're using 1.1, then it is 50. And this 1.1.1 is only having a weightage of 20. If you want to jump on another one, you have a feature where you can jump on another. Coming back to the application back again. Similarly, if you could see here, you have 1.1.2, which will give you the information out here. Now you see these percentage which is getting calculated. They're calculated of its own. You just have to go here, go and define it across it. There are masters which define it. So chances of you making a mistake is very least. You just have to complete those kind of a thing, complete this entire thing, and then click on the finish button. Once you click on the finish button, my system understands this, that this particular thing is being done makers and checker. Now this finish is only visible, and please note it is only and only visible to the person who is the checker, who is the head of the authority, who's responsible to finish it or to give a final concluding factor. So you can go, you can create different roles, you can define what people can do for you. They just basically complete their work, and the checker is the one who just goes and marks it finished. If anybody needs help, the help is available. Every section you'll see that there is a help which is available out there. You click on it, and all the ratio calculation which is there across it is all available out here. So you can have a next 5 years which has been done across it, what has been going on, these calculations are being done. You want to see how they are getting created, you can just have the data entries which is being done across it. You want to edit a change, you can make the necessary changes and all those things. So everything can be done across here, and you're good to go. Going forward, as I mentioned you across it, I'm not explaining what is the part of criteria 1, criteria 2. I believe you have been already going through these kind of things, but I would like to talk about the kind of detailing we have gone into it. So it's not just limited to here. Even if you go to 1.2, which is divided into 1.2.1 and 1.2.2, all of them have a uniform and a defined feature. A very uniformity is maintained everywhere else, so that you don't have to really worry about it. You just go do the basic data entries and you're good to go. And I'll show you the real magic which comes in out of it. So define it across it, how many words is allowed there. Again, as mentioned, document management system is everywhere else. I would like to show you one more beautiful thing here. Say, let's take an example. If you have something like this and you go more forward to it, once you save this, you again have a document management and things available out here, which means that not only at the primer level of 1.3, but even if you go into 1.3.2 and you go to individual records, you are able to categorize it. And this is what gives this entire system a power. When it's going and publishing the report, it automatically understands that which document is created at which junction, and it automatically goes and structures this out for you. So we are talking of very well organized data set which is available out there. So see, you just go, you put in the data, these things, values comes of its own. You don't have to do anything, nothing to be done out there. These all value comes in across it. You just populate the data. Wherever the data can be populated by using a combo or basically drop down or select, you have those features available to you, so that even you don't even have to type that information out there. Okay. So, and of course, there are a lot of consultants who are helping it across it. Dr. Prashant is helping us in and out about it. They are guiding us across it, how we can improvise on certain things. So you could expect something which is going across it. So I'll quickly walk you through the different things and then show you the real thing out there. So you have 1.3, 1.4 goes into detailing. If you go to a criteria 2, where you have many sections like 2.1, select 2.7, you have 2.1, 2.2 divided into multiple sections. So every section would have it. You can put these kind of videos, you can put music, you can put pictures, everything can be available out there, and every one of them. So every section, as you could see, we have gone into detailing and depth of it and define it everywhere else, whichever criteria you look at it. So I'll jump on to the criteria 7 because they would look identically the same, how we have arranged the data. You got a hint of it. So let me go to criteria 7. Something simplified and designed, like for an example, if I have to do it here, see, you have these options here. So these are the options which is coming are directly from the manual, which is there across it. You just have to go here. You have to select whether all the options are there. You don't like something here, you can just cut it from here and you can have it out there. You just save it here. To provide additional access to it, you just go and add your documents here. As simple as that, as simple as that. And what do you get out of it? What do you get out of this is being organized. You want to publish an SSR, which is to be on the web. Click on the publish SSR and it will go and it will have the entire SSR which is being published out there, which is available now. You can go click on an executive summary. You'll be able to see the summary with DMS, wherever the DMS is there. You can download it from here. You can view from here. Need not to worry about anything. You want to look at something like criteria 1, which is there across it. We had some, a very interesting image mentioned out there. So you see, you have it here. This is all organized. You want to make something bold, you make it bold. You want to make something italicized, you want to italicize it, you want to change the color, everything you do it is there. You click on a document management system and this is done. And this, please note, this part will be your university, your organization, and this is done. You just have to give a one single hyperlink and it will automatically take care of the publishing it completely on your website. Not even a single line of code, not even a single coordination, not even a single call need to be done. It's all automated out there for you to do it. So similarly, you can have criteria 1 to criteria 7. It remains the same thing. But what is more interesting here is tracking, because everybody of us would need that tracker, would need to understand it. How does this work? So let me introduce you to the tracker, which is really we are proud to present, is the dashboard part of it. You see, where do you stand by this yellow line? It tells you where you are. So every 7 criteria are having certain marks like 150, 200, 250, 100, 100, 100. And in this case, it tells you this yellow marker says that you have reached 100 out of 150. You want to understand what happened here. You click on this criteria 1. This again changes the whole gap of it. It tells you that what is the thing. So 1.1 holds 50 weightage, 1.2 holds 50 weightage, another one 30 and 20. And then it just tells you where you are under what circumstances, where you are like this. If you want to go into detail to it, you basically just go here, you go into detail of that, and you know that what is completed and what is not completed. So a pure drill down approach at 3 levels. You can just go inside one, tells you where you are. You go inside another one, tells you where you are. And so you know that 1.1.3 is not something which is being completed. You're going to be focusing on this. You complete it, automatically your margin changes. And there is a day when you have all top line, which is touching on the top of it. So that's how you track it. Now coming back to the point where people says, how can we have a complete control over what we are doing? So you could just go here. You can define the roles out there, which means you can go and tell who have an access to what they can access, what they cannot access. To individual point of it, you can define whether they can add, edit, delete, what they can do out here, the access is there, whether they can publish, whether this should publish in PDF or not, whether this should publish in online site or not, that control lies with you. You can have a student doing certain data entry and you can only give him that control, not just to one student, but a set of students, or maybe maybe their respective concerned professor or the lecturer who's doing it across it, or there are a particular team which is doing it across, so the head of the particular thing which is doing it across it. So pretty comfortable application in terms of giving users and rights, controlling what data, who can see, who cannot see, and of course a good tracking module which has been done out there. So this is just a gist of the application we are talking about. We would love to walk you through this. There is a process which you need to follow. Let me just share that particular thing out there. Give me a second, please. So I hope you can see my screen and we go forward. So what benefits are you getting here is basically having, as we discussed across it, that you can have an institute which is engaged in day-to-day managerial function, which is there across it. NAAC1 tool can make this thing much better. You get an overall management and collaboration and coordination structuring which is there in place. Very interesting point is this, that we mentioned about it, that we have an application called NetCampus ERP. It talks to NetCampus ERP, which means anything which you have already entered into NetCampus application, it can take that as an input so that you don't have to redo the work. So it is giving you a combination of both documentation as well as giving you a combination of the entire ERP part of the university or a college. It is, of course, our Saarc Masts is being on the pillars of consulting, research, and solution. So we basically, before introducing any product, any technology, any innovation, we do a lot of hard work out here. This application has been a big hard work of almost on 8 to 9 months. And prior to 9 months, almost around 4 months of a lot of thought process to go about it. And a lot of coordination, a lot of people, good roller coaster ride, but we are happy to present this particular thing for you. It is exclusively for you. It is meant for the exactly NAAC purpose. That's what exactly do it. So you are in a safe hands. Quickly, in a nutshell, just to close on this thing, what we are taking care of is we are taking care of profiling, we're taking care of content, and we are taking care of integration so that we reduce your work. It will cut down your work quite an extent, and it will be more focused, more object-oriented, a good repository which you can trust upon. Going forward across it, well, this is something which all of you must be looking at it. We have come out with a very, very special offer for the first 25 licenses. So there is a process to go about it. The next slide will talk about it. But yeah, be the first ones to go for it. The first 25 licenses are available at a part of special offer. And this is what you need to do. Very simple steps. Step number one, you have a NAAC1.com. Please visit NAAC1.com. So whatever we discussed during this presentation, you'll have a more clarity about it. Okay. It is like a revision. It is like a notes, which is there across for it. As soon as you go there, at the end of the thing, there is a NAAC1.com. There's a form out there. Please fill up that form. Our representative would reach out to you. You can ask all the questions you have across it. You can get clarification. Of course, if this looks really, really good for you, it is there. It's an awesome product. You can ask for a clarification. Okay. You can request a proposal. Once you request a proposal and confirm the order, we give you the product training. We train you online on Zoom. We give you a free trial for 7 days, and followed which a payment request is being made to you. There is always all the time service and support is there across it. And if you look at it here, you can have the phone number and you have an email address in case if you directly want to reach out to us. So this is the application we were talking about it. We would really like to call for a question and answer session now.
I request you, if someone have a question, please raise your hand. We have around 215 participants here. 2 ways we can take it up. One is you will be contacted by our sales team. They will call you, and you can see this presentation in detail. You can ask your queries in detail. But now, yeah, I mean, I'll take some of the questions. Ahmed, can you please unmute and speak?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, please proceed.
Yeah. I heard your presentation and listened very carefully. It's a good presentation. I think you were managing in fact, helping documentation of our system. My question is that whatever we have mentioned, that 25% depends on the qualitative in nature, the entire documentation or the institute part, and 25% is the quantitative in nature. Question is that now while we documenting, okay, we can do entire document that may not be very nicely represented. You can give the professionally how we represent this one. The problem is that the institute in a very small scale or very not very large student and the government institution, the funding is now becomes a very big problem here. So I don't know whether it is accurate to state here or not. In fact, in the NAAC1, first NAAC cycle, many institutes got less than 2.5 score, and they have not get any fund from the RUSA. As well as last 7-8 years, we have not received any funding from the UGC. Many institutes, in fact, especially government institute, we cannot take large sum of money from the students. We have also those obligations, social obligations. So I think there are many colleges throughout in India. I want to raise this question that
sir, I would like to. I think, sir, you are asking a question which is, in fact, we have to discuss in detail with the help of a consultant, because here, we would like to stick to the subject, on the product actually. Because I know that there are a lot of, when you go for the compliance, I know that there are a lot of difficulties that the institutions are facing apart from documenting it, as you rightly said about funding and things like that. Maybe a good consultant may be able to help you, or maybe after the workshop, if you can speak to our manager, who's, Pradosh, he'll be able to come back to you and get you a one-to-one help on it. I understand your query, sir. This is, we can definitely take it up.
Okay.
Shaji, can you please raise your hand? Can you please speak up? Shaji Joseph?
Yes, yes. Okay, thank you, sir, for offering me a chance to speak. Okay, I have been listening to your talk. Of course, it was wonderful. My question is, as I was late to join for 5 minutes. So as I understand is that it's an integrated system, a solution for any institution aspiring to get NAAC accreditation. So my question is, does this application include EPR of the college, or is it a separate only for NAAC?
What do you mean by EPR? I mean,
I'll take this call. I'll just take this thing on the show. So this is basically a standalone application, a silo application, which has a capability of connected to ERPs. So it is a standalone application. You can take this as a pure standalone application. In one of my slides, I have mentioned it also, where it says that it's a standalone application. Okay. But if you want to integrate it with ERP, which is NetCampus ERP currently, that we have integrated across it, which is our own product itself. But what I would suggest here is this: we can go with the standalone thing, and you should be good to go on this. There should be not to worry about the ERP part as of now.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you. One more question is,
sure.
So you have been speaking about this different each criterion on how we can integrate our documentation. Will it be possible for multiple people to operate this system, or is it a single operator system?
No, you can have as many users as you want, as many users as you want. This is the state-of-the-art cloud technology. You can even have hundreds of users working parallelly at the same time. Of course, when you are working on those areas of, we call it as what I showed you as a Word file. Of course, not much of the people can work parallelly on it. But yes, if you have designated different criteria to different people, yes, they can operate parallelly. There's no worries about it. If one operates, automatically it gets reflected to the other one.
Okay, thank you, sir. Where will you be storing the data? Is the data stored in our server, or do you have any special server for storing the data of each institution?
We have been taking care of this. We have considered as the best of the servers available. These servers are Azure servers. These are Amazon AWS servers. So they are very secure. They have not just the backups, but they have a global disaster recovery planning. It has a business continuity planning. They are safeguarded with continuous backup. They are working on RAID 10 SSDs, which means in case of hard disk failures, they are being taken care. You could expect, and you could really expect 99.99% uptime of it. And whenever we're going to go on maintenance, we're going to inform everybody that yes, this is the particular date and time, and which is also usually very late at night, we go on a maintenance. Otherwise, any given point of time, you will have an access to the system. That's what we can promise you.
Okay, fine. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, Subhajit, I mean, we can take two more queries. Subhajit, can you please ask your queries?
Yes, thank you. This is Shubhajit Paul from Salesian College, Siliguri. So I have a few questions. Now, the first one is, does the software feed the data into the NAAC portal directly?
Okay, I'll take this query again. No, this data doesn't feed the data directly into a NAAC portal, but it creates the PDF, it creates the SSR for you, which can be used to do that. So then it's left over is what just a data entry. And if I'm not mistaken, Dr. Prashant can tell us the process of submission of this. I believe they're asking for a website also. So Dr. Prashant, can you please answer this?
Yeah, sorry, I got another call. Can you just repeat the question, sir, please?
The question is, does the software feed the data directly into the NAAC portal?
See, the data, you cannot, there is no way you can export any data into the NAAC portal. The NAAC portal is a secure application where you have the username and password, where you give the data. It's like an autofill on the, what should I say? It's an autofill or an auto populate. You go to the website and you go on filling data, and you upload evidences as per requirement. Now, the general strategy when you're uploading is that, see, the NAAC portal has a size limit of 5 MB, and most of the data, even for one question, I got muted. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Somebody muted me in between. So, the NAAC. Somebody is talking. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, somebody is,
Yeah.
So the NAAC portal, you cannot upload anything above 5 MB. So the general strategy for most people is that you have to fill those things online. It's an auto-populate. So that you cannot do anything, that you cannot export from anywhere, number one. Number two, you are not allowed to put it on a Google Drive or a OneDrive. NAAC is very much against that. So what people are doing is they upload all the evidences on their secure website, and those links are shared as with the NAAC this thing. Some small files you can upload. So what I understand from NAAC1 is that your the files, the evidence are very easily exportable in such a way that you can just take and do a cut paste job. But there is no way that you are any software will be allowed to port directly to the NAAC software. It is not permitted by law. And again, Google Drive, OneDrive is not allowed. You have to put it on your website because there is another requirement of compliance and transparency. So to the extent I understood from NAAC1, everything will go into a website. You just need to take that, your evidence will be parked on a website. Your data will be parked on a website. For the evidence, you just copy the URL. It should be your website, not some other third-party website, and you just put it into the NAAC portal. The data, there is no other way. You have to just cut paste. You cannot do anything other than that, but it won't take much time.
Okay, thank you. My next question is, does your software check the correctness of the updated document? For example, suppose I have to update the document for a new course, starting of new course, the approval from university. Does your software has the image processing capability to check whether I have uploaded the correct PDF or not, correct document or not?
Ashish?
Yeah, okay. So I'll answer this. So no, that is actually, if you look at it, is kind of an unviable thing which you're looking at it. What we do is we do a very basic validity checks at different levels. But what you are looking at it at this point of time, where a PDF has been uploaded and you want to confirm whether it's associated to that particular course, no, this application doesn't do it. It is just providing you a repository place right now.
Yeah, okay. Dr. Sharvan, you can speak, please.
Sir, I have one more question, please, regarding this. Hello?
Yeah, please. I may not be able to take much because we need to close it.
Yeah. Just so, is individual mapping of documents possible? Like this one, opening of new course. Now, opening of new course, this document will be required in the opening of new course question, and also the total number of courses, total description of courses present in the college. So, can I make user-defined mappings? Is it possible there?
There's nothing called user-defined, but it is possible that you can go to the very core part of the different criteria, and every record can have an evidence of its own. Yes, it is possible. Okay. It doesn't have a user-defined. You need not to define anything user, because there's a very defined structure which we follow, which is capable of handling each and every aspect of it. Okay. And what you are saying is, in short, if I have to answer it, yes, it is possible.
Okay. And does it work with the college ERP? We have a ERP which is designed by our own. So will your application work with that?
We have to do an evaluation study, and then again, it's a kind of a custom work we are talking about.
Okay.
So, Bajit, we'll take it one-to-one because...
Okay. Thank you so much.
They will get back.
Thank you so much.
Dr. Sharvan, if you can speak, I'll take the last question. And after that, if someone want to stay, they can stay. Sharvan, can you please ask a question?
Thank you. Sir, can I have the free trial or getting after confirming our order? Can I
You have a free trade. I didn't get it.
After confirming our order.
No. So basically, first you have to give us a request. If the right current screen which you're seeing on your screen, it says that once you confirm the order, when we say confirm the order, we are basically saying that yes, you are keen to go forward on it. Okay. After which we give you a product training also, which is on the Zoom, and following which you have 7 days. So you basically get into the free trial for 7 days. And Institute has an option to discontinue in 7 days. And once you complete your 7 days, we basically come back to you. Are you satisfied enough? And once you say, yes, I'm satisfied enough, then only the payment gets into place. So you are in a safe hands. Again, I mentioned you.
Yeah, Prashantji, I think you have something to say over here. Prashantji, if you can unmute and speak. Okay, fine, no problem.
I have another question.
Yeah.
But can you charge for maintaining our data in your server?
The charges for maintaining the data, for us, it is a bit expensive, but the software cost is much cheaper since we have a lot of, confirmation for this. We will be taking care of the cost of it. You don't have to take care of the cost separately. I will answer to it one-to-one.
Okay. So what is the cost of software, sir?
We will answer it in one-to-one. So I don't want to take you this far.
Okay,
yeah. There are various packages for that. Actually, it's a license model. You've got a 1-year license, 3-year license, and 5-year license. I don't want to take it now at this point of time, is because I may have to explain a lot of factors with it, how it is priced. So my manager will directly get in touch with you, give us a complete details how it has been priced. And there are payment options also. But I can say that this has been made as is one of the best affordable software for any type of institution. It is not expensive for you. That assurance I can provide to you. Yeah, and Shabir Ahmed, I think you've been waiting for some time. Please, yeah.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Sir, I am from Trivandrum, Kerala. I'm working as IQSP coordinator in National College Trivandrum. So my question is that in the criterion 2, there was one key indicator, that is the student survey report is there, because this was very much crucial in aspect of the NAAC assessment is concerned. So whether these facilities available for the student survey report, the model of the questions and all that thing is available in that particular software, sir?
Yes.
I'll take it across from here. So we have another application which we call it as Net Campus. So Net Campus, because it's an ERP, it has a feature of doing those kind of surveys and everything else. So in Net Campus, it is available. As a NAAC1, we are just taking values, and whatever the report which is getting generated out there is being uploaded. So just to give you more clarity on it, NAAC1 is a pure documentation software. It is allowed you to take that report and publish it out there, but to create a survey forms and to move survey form, that is a part of our Net Campus. You have to opt for a Net Campus if you want that particular feature to be integrated within your application of NAAC1.
I think we should get that particular message and all that thing after having a collaboration with you, right, sir?
Yeah, so we'll discuss you. So Dr. Pradosh will tell you across it, how does it go about it. So as you were talking about it, the survey part is a part of a Net Campus because it's a part of an ERP where it allows you to create multiple different kind of surveys. And their consolidation of that report has to be uploaded into NAAC1. NAAC1 is purely focuses on the data aggregation model with respect to university, with respect to college and university to NAAC accrediting body.
Sir, one more question, sir. Sir, if we are looking forward, we are ready to take this particular software. So what sort of facilities what we have to be arranged in our college for working on this?
I'll explain you. In this case, you can have any laptop, any desktop, basically something which you can browse upon it. It's like any other application, which is purely cloud oriented. This is a cloud-based application. So you don't require anything, just a browser, and you should be good to go. Nothing to worry about it.
And okay, a good internet connection. that's it.
Of course, sir. Sir, any data requirement and the memory requirement, sir?
No, nothing.
Nothing about it. You can even work.
Your willingness is the requirement. Rest will take care of it.
Oh, okay, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I think I've been. Is there anyone else remaining? I think Shabir. Shabir spoke now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you're the one which is remaining, right? You haven't.
I already talked, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
Dr. Prashant B.
Hello, Prashant B, please.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon, sir. The presentation was very nice. I have a small query, sir, regarding the assessment or valuation done by the software, whether that is depending upon the quantitative data we have fed. Actually, there are so many elaborate things we are feeding in the software now. So whether the software is assessing based on the quantitative data, for example, something like a student-faculty ratio or the placement data, the scores are given by the software now. So whether that is based on a quantitative data we are filling.
Ashish?
Okay, I'll update you on this. So Prashant, basically the idea here is that we have defined a checker in a kind of a scenario. So the maker basically makes this entire thing out there, and the checker clicks on the finish to complete it. So you also have to understand this. The qualitative is very descriptive in nature, and what they are communicating across it. Unfortunately, there is no technology right now which can read and understand that whatever you have written is the right way to go about it, because it's more on how it's very subjective. When it comes to quantitative, there are a few criteria like ratio analysis and something that we can still work on it. But as of now, it just gives you those ratio analysis. It's not calculating across it that this is what is needed out there or that is what to be done across it. It is depending on the maker and checker. See, to have a very transparent kind of a thing, whatever is the reality is being put it across it. We are talking about it, finishing the entire documentation process in the best of the manner. We are also coordinating a lot of consultants who are giving us multiple inputs on how we can ease and how we can become very precise to the environment. So that is all, that efforts are already on. But yeah, to just give you answer to your exactly thing, qualitative, absolutely no. Quantitative, few sections have been taken care, few sections are not being taken care. And there is a reason for it, because they are dependent on multiple parameters. And maybe over a period of time, we may be able to take those multiple parameters inside also, in case if we have to do that calculation, which of course makes software a bit complex and only for those people. So we want to simplify the software. We want everybody to use it. And that's why we have very wisely, thought-based wise, as I told you, there's a lot of research has gone into it. In a very thought-based manner, we have structured this out.
Ashish, I'll just add on to this. Prashant,
yeah.
The NAAC process, what the software can do is, suppose you say that I have got 10 value-added courses, right? In the last 5 years, your suppose you have 10 value-added courses and you upload the evidences of those 10 value-added courses. So the software will tell you that yes, 10 are there and this many evidences have been taken. Now moving forward, so this is what the software can do. Now the next part is confidential. You are not party to that. Neither am I party, neither is NAAC1. The veracity of those 10 evidences are checked by a third party in NAAC. The third party in NAAC has his own algorithm and all. And many of the formula, as Ashish was telling, some of the formula are very straightforward. We know that. And we are able to ascertain. So suppose you expect, there is a question that you say, how much percentage of syllabus you have completed. If you say that 90%, you get full marks. Those things are known to us, but there are many parameters and factors that are not known to any of us, and we are not supposed to know also. I will give you an example, publications. As such, your publications are taken directly from an index case, Scopus or PubMed or Web of Science. Nobody knows what is the factor that gives you the highest publication. Nobody knows you are being compared with some frame of reference. That reference is not known to you, not known to me, not known to anybody. So to the extent possible, certain things which are very straightforward, which have a direct formula where you are giving the question and your the data and the evidence, the software will say you have completed it. But having said that, when you are going for NAAC, the veracity of that evidence is also being checked. Now, I'll give you an example. A couple of last year, rather, two colleges in Andhra were blacklisted. What did they do is they created a lot of internship certificates of companies by making the logo of the company and started generating their own internship certificates. And the NAAC, the DVV or the data validation and verification found it out. They have their own methods. And those kind of things, they got caught and they were blacklisted. So that's what I want to be very clear. There will be nobody in the country who will be able to tell you that this will give you your NAAC score. That is not possible. But certain parameters, maybe 60 to 70% of the parameters, maybe 50 to 60% of the parameters, it's a straightforward question, straightforward formula. where you know that you have uploaded and you get the answer. You can predict. But then the remaining 30-40% will not be known to anybody. Having said that, we have some idea because we have been using this for so many years. We have an idea that, okay, for publications, they look at Indian Institute of Science as the benchmark in terms of citation. So based on that, I have the IAAC, Indian Institute of Science, number of papers, number of citations. I have my paper, I have my citation. Based on that, I am able to do some, what should I say, number crunching and figure out. That's all we can do, but that is not transparent to by NAAC. I hope I have answered your question, Prashant.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. Thank you very much.
And thank you so much, everybody. I think we thought to pack it up in 1 hour. And Prashant, very special thanks to you. It was great you to be there and as our mentor, as an advisor to us, and thanks to Amrita Institute of Technology. And we are proud that we are associated with you. And also thank you so much for all the board members of Saarc Masts Tech, Bala, Ashish, all of you, Dr. Pradosh. And you will be directly contacted by the Dr. Pradosh team because they handle the implementation of the software. So he'll directly get back to you, and we can take it up from there. So as I said, the first 25 licenses are much discounted. I mean, if you're signing up faster, we have a lot of institutions which are signed up over there, but we can see that how much more can be accommodated into it. Please contact Dr. Prashant, Dr. Pradosh, and rectify into it. Pradosh, do you have something to speak as a closure, or shall we call it as a day?
No, it's fine. It was a wonderful session. You can just do the conclusion of it. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I want to add one thing. There were some questions that were missed out and all. So yeah. I have dropped my email ID. If you have any questions related to the NAAC process, I am again putting my email ID. You can just drop an email to me.
Yes. Yeah, somebody asked me initially that he was having a problem with the funding and things like that. So
I jumped onto another meeting. Okay, you can just my email ID is very simple. You can easily find me also. Just Google Prashant R Nair Amrita. You will get my email ID. It is just Prashant@Amrita, prashant@amrita.edu. So if anybody wants, please post questions, simple questions. I'll be able to answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everybody. It was a great pleasure.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
We are closing for the day. Any queries? You'll be Dr. Pradosh will be in touch with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone. Take care.